Good evening, guys, and welcome to another Lewis on Cryptos. Saturday night today, and we're going to have another quick look. Things are getting a bit more complicated because we are nearing invalidation for our main, but there is nothing to worry about. We have been talking about alternatives here, and of course there is something new. Some new edits actually to provide to you today on BTC. And after a while, the QIC community has voted for Enjin. So we're going to have a quick look on Enjin, main, and alternative scenario. Don't forget, as I mentioned last week, in case you want to join my private group, that is so far on Telegram. My information is in the About section. There is nowhere else I have any sort of channels for free or anything, but this is going to change when we move to Discord, and soon we are moving to Discord, probably a week or maybe two. The channel is all prepared already, just waiting a few more things on my website, but probably I think I will launch before. There will be a free version there for you, and then 3 different subscription models. So keep your your eyes and ears open over the next few weeks for an announcement. Let's go to BTC and then Enjin. Enough with Enjin, guys. With BTC, sorry. The main is wave 4 ended here, and we're going to see 1, 2, and then continuation to the downside, right? That's what we said last week. Now, the most logical and next move is to move wave 2 here, okay, which would then mean that this is W, X, and Y, okay. And then we continue as we would have expected, lower to complete the 5th wave over here. However, excuse me, going all the way up here to correct nearly 98% of this previous wave, and then you get another second move, okay, that gets nearly to 98% of this previous wave all the way up correction, you know, and looking at the correction down here only, that is just like a minimum move to the downside compared, you know, like we came to the 70%. Then you got to ask yourself, well, is this really what we expect to see? The truth is that the more okay, we're very near to getting validation. Okay, I will leave it as is for now, but I will mention also the alternative scenarios. Okay, so for now we keep still this scenario as the main until we break the previous high at 45.416, which might make this a W, X, and Y, and then the wave 4 at 45.981. Let's say 46K. In case we break that, then that becomes a different W, X, and Y. So let's bring each one of them slowly over here to showcase all the scenarios pretty much. Now, there is 2 different cases for a double zigzag. Okay, one case is that this is going to be A. We're going to get A, B, C, D, and E. That means we need to stay below wave C. Okay, and then we're going to move down again with another 5 wave move to the downside. That's one of the scenarios for a double zigzag, and this is the closest alternative. I will even actually tell you this is probably, well, it's going to be probably my main fairly soon, I guess. Or the other case, that is A, and then that is a W and X as a triangle, and then a Y. So either a triangle or W, X, and Y, and then A, B, C down. Now, you will know that if we're going to have a move to the downside, right? This cannot be a triangle if we are in wave 1. For example, if this is a wave 1, then we only have a W, X, and Y scenario here. Okay, there is two different variations here in wave Y, by the way, in wave X. Sorry, one is it is a triangle, and the other one is that it is a flat, a running flat to be precise. So that would be the A, B, and the C. I will show you the short term soon. The other scenario that comes in is the running flat. We talked about the running flat and this ending down here. Okay, but for the running flat scenario, guys, the upside that we currently see is very likely going to be a correction. And then we're going to get 5 waves down and then continue the web for 3, 4, and 5. Why? Simply because this is very corrective. It does not look impulsive. Okay, it does not. You might say that, well, okay, this is something like of an impulse to the upside. Fine. I agree. But if you look at the lower time frames, this doesn't make sense much. And we can also, of course, see that the downside is way more impulsive than the upside. And that would be probably an ABC here or even a WX and Y. I wouldn't be surprised. That's the running flat. One scenario, the first one. The second scenario is that we are going to see this turning into an A, B, and C. And this is where my wave 2 is going to finish in the intermediate degree. In the previous one, don't forget, we have already finished the intermediate wave 1, okay, and we're going up in 2. In the second case, we are still in wave 2, okay. Double flat, you know the scenario, it's not very likely. Double triangle, again, not very likely. And the expanded variation, of course, 1, 2, 3, well, yeah, 3 is going to be much lower. Now, you might say, why has this gone so much down further? The alternatives, it's because, guys, this correction is lasting quite a lot, okay, quite a long time. That we've got to think that the higher correction degree is like 3-4 times smaller than the lower correction degree correction, so it doesn't make much sense, right? So mainly of this lot over here, WX and Y, and we're currently in triangle or in WX and Y. If we break above wave C, then it becomes WX and Y. Okay, and we're gonna take you now in the short term. Okay, fine. I'll delete it. Main scenario. It's not the same as last time. I've switched from this one. I will show you now why, and I will tell you why. The main is this, still, because we're still valid, right? So if we come and do a double top over here, which is fairly possible, and we can just start falling from here. Okay, so my wave 4 would be still here. This is 1, W, X, and Y for wave 2. Okay, and this Y, as I said before, it can be, you know, a triangle. For this particular case, yes, a triangle. But for the other two scenarios, I will show you now. The main last week was this, okay, and I've changed it because to me, if this would be an ended diagonal, despite the fact that it looks ugly, this I do not consider as such of a valid throwover. It's a bit overextended to be a throwover for an ending diagonal. Okay, that's the reason I've changed it. So this is the main. We have a W, X, and Y. This is the A, this is the B, and we're going to get 1, 2, 3. We are currently in wave 4. We're going to see one more leg up, and that's going to be it. So this can turn into a triangle, can be whatever, it doesn't really matter. What we do know is one more leg up, and that's going to give us pretty much look at this, 45. 747 as well. It comes exactly at 61.8. It will give us just the double top that we need in order to start moving lower down. Now, if you pay attention, the RSI shows some sort of signal over here, but obviously it's in the 1 hour. If it breaks and we move higher, then we're going to move into this scenario. Okay, which, if you remember, brings us back to this being a wave A or a wave 1. Okay, and W, X, and Y. Which means it is a similar case, but a bit different in the short term here. That would be a 1 and 2. We're still in wave 3, pretty much. Okay, maybe you can say that, hold on. Maybe we can do this, yeah. You can even say that our third wave is done. And I'm going to get something similar, obviously, but the difference here is that this structure over here. okay? And the fact that this is the W and the X and the Y. In the previous case, in the main scenario, our 4 is here. And this is 1 and this is W, X and Y, right? Just to make the distinction here. So the double top would be expected to be around the 46K here, okay? Not as in the previous case at 45.60. And a minor difference in here, ABC 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is a running flat down here instead of having a triangle in here. You see, that's the only difference here. So obviously with a flat, that it's a wave C, which brings us back to the main. Hold on. Well, our previous main, which is the alternative. So as you can see, this for me so far is the main. Next level I'm expecting is 45.4 and then 45.90. Only if we get invalidation there, we go to this double zigzag. If we break above C, obviously it's not going to be a triangle any longer. If we break above C, it's going to be a double zigzag, so we're not going to need that triangle any longer here. And quickly on Enjin, guys. The main and the alternative. This is the main scenario that I've been looking for a while, right? And one could also assume or suggest that, you know, dude, why do you expect a triple zigzag here? W, X, Y, X, and Z. This is done. And then you say, okay, let's go up. And we're moving up. Yeah, I could say that, you know. But there is a reason I don't. Okay, and the reason is that down here, we do not have an impulse move to the upside, guys. So if the only case I see this turning into an impulse to the upside, well, it wouldn't be an impulse. It would be a motive wave. We get 3, 4, and 5. That's the only way, okay? Which means 2, 3, 4, and 5. So that's the main, and its alternative would be that this is going to turn into a leading diagonal, okay? In the short term, of course, which we're probably going to know in the next few days, maybe weeks, okay? I do expect another leg down, as you can understand, okay? Now, I want you to pay attention also on this huge signal over here as well, okay? We've got the RSI, we've got nearly, you know, we haven't gone overbought yet, but we're very near to go overbought. When we go overbought, which we missed for a tiny bit, depends on what sort of RSI you use as well. I use the 8 period, so this is where you are, and the 80-20. If we get a bit higher, we're going to get a massive signal here, okay? Now, we also need to take into account the Fibonacci retracement here at 172. So 172 might be our level here, okay? Just saying. 172 might be our level. Is this a cluster? Can we get it anywhere else? Well, we get 170 and 184. 184 also possible. Now, you might ask, what is the alternative? Well, the alternative is a bit of a different case when it comes to the longer term outlook, but changes the shorter term as well. That would be a case where my wave 2 in the primary degree, although it doesn't look as pretty, it's a W, X, and Y, and the wave Y is a triangle. That means we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 all the way up in wave 3, supported by the volumes as well, by the way, in both cases, right? And then you've got something like an A, B, and a C. Obviously, this ABC is going to give us wave 4, and as you can see it, due to its structure, it is an, well, anyone would say a running flat or an expanded flat, but in our case, it's going to be an expanded flat. So I'm looking for wave 3, 4, and 5 over here. And the way I'm expecting them to actually take place due to the structure over here, as you remember, it was W, X, and Y, X, and Z. So it is corrective. It has to be a motive wave and in diagonal. So an A, B, C, expanded flat, yeah, with a ending diagonal in wave C. So far we had A, B, C and 2, and then it looks like to me we have A, and we are about to finish wave B. Then we're gonna go down for C, and then 4, and then 5 again. So it's gonna be 5 zigzags, okay? Just for those who are not so familiar with the ending diagonal. One level to take into account, and always we have to do this when we use when we have flat patterns, it would be down here. So perhaps, I'm just saying perhaps, this is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 even. We're going to get a diagonal like this. But due to, look at this, the structure over going down here, look, wave 3, it would be bigger than wave 1, which means it could only be an expanded diagonal. So if we were to assume that this is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, you know, we might as well just say this is the 5th one. Capiche? Because this 4th wave is bigger than this, which is the 2nd, I think. Actually, let me just validate that thought. No, it's not. So it cannot be an ended diagonal, because when you have open-ended diagonal, our wave 4 has to be bigger than our wave 2, and in this case it's not. So that's why I came up to this. It's like a solution, guys. Otherwise, well, that's the only alternative pretty much that I can see. Okay, that doesn't mean there isn't others, obviously. You can assume that this is going to turn into A, B, C, D, E here, and it's going to be a triangle, a running triangle or something. But we're just looking at the main ones now, and this Enjin is not BTC. It's not like it's, you know, it's the king of the cryptos. It is an important coin, obviously, but I'm not going to go into offering 5 different alternatives here. The truth is that the idea of having many alternatives on BTC as well, it's because its structure is not clear, and it can be very easily misinterpreted, especially in the short term. And also in the longer term, I would say this led to the downside on BTC. It's something that has been misinterpreted, I would say, as well, quite a bit. So that's going to be all for this week's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed, and as always, don't forget, you can click like, subscribe button so you don't miss another notification. Since also I'm going to have this announcement about Discord soon, might be a good idea to just go and click that button now.